which you can see all the way till we get some viewers here. So if you ever want to look of a little preview. Finally, we got a viewer. Can I see you, though? No. Alright. Hi, everybody. Or the one viewer for now. Welcome to Showcase My Cars. Alright. First off, just want to say thank you. Appreciate myself showing these cars off to you. I'm going to show them all. So I want to give you a little detail. Alright, first car you see is the Wrangler car, Dale Earnhardt. Yeah, that's some action. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. I'll get to more on that, because there's more Wrangler cars here. The second car you see is the Dale Earnhardt Jr. test car. Probably from 03 or 4 or 5, I don't know. Next car over is the Junior Budweiser car, but you know what? It doesn't say Budweiser. It's Earnhardt Jr. Damn. Over here is the man himself, Dale Sr. I don't know if that's a Monte Carlo. Yeah, that's a Monte Carlo. First Monte Carlo. Alright. Very interesting story about the Monte Carlo is that it was introduced in '93 to come into the circuit in '95. The late Neil Bonnet tested the car. Yeah. It's a shame he didn't get to see it and drive it. I always wonder what the country time car will look with the Monte Carlo, what the pace scheme will be. Moving over, we have Jeff Green's Busch car, the car that he was handpicked by Dale Sr. Well, Dale Sr. retired from the Busch Series competition in '95. Jeff go 2 years for it, still didn't get the win. I think it's the driver. Over here is the Winter Circle version of Dale's first car. Yes, it's pink. Pink. Look at that. They say real men wear pink, so I guess real man drives pink as well. Over here is the Matchbox Dale Sr. car. You see, yeah, possibly. Hold on. See the Lumina. Then over here is the Racing Champion version, '93 edition. The 6th title car. Well, 6th title season car. Sorry about that, folks. Over here is another Winter Circle vehicle. Earnhardt 6th title. Nice. Over here, this is the very first edition of Racing Champions. And it's a Chevy. You can't really see because the lighting in here really not good. Should have gotten lamps. But I'll get to Racing Champions with other cars later. So, yeah. Earnhardt's Olympic car from '96. I have another version of it here somewhere. Maybe not. We'll come to it. Sorry. I'm new at this. Over here is the Wrangler Dale's car from Wrangler Circle, Lifetime Series in 1984. And over here is the Monte Carlo of Goodrich. If anyone know what kind of Monte Carlo that is, again, I totally forgot. Put it in the comments. I appreciate it. Over here is Ron Hornaday Jr. This car was, I guess, was supposed to be run by Ron Hornaday, but unfortunately the car did not make the field because it rained at Rockingham. But according to Racing Reference, it was supposed to be a Papa John's car, not a Smith & Wesson. That car looks intimidating even without the Earnhardt. I think Ron Hornaday could have been really good at it. Over here is Kyle Larson. NASCAR. This is his first win, actually, at Michigan. This is my current favorite driver. It's a shame they got kicked out of the knocked out of the playoffs. He should be in it. They should kick Chase Briscoe out. Down here is Dale Jr.'s championship car, first championship car, AC Delco. Over here is Dale Jr.'s Skinnons car from '97. Surprised he didn't stick with the Earnhardt Black for most of them. And another winner circle, Dale Earnhardt Sr. This is the 2001 version of his car, the year that he died at Daytona. You got the 1999 Wrangler All-Star Race. Over here, my pride and joy, the Daytona 500 car. Down here, you got the Winter Circle Lifetime Series. This is Earnhardt's rookie car, but it's 1980. Sorry, it's championship car. I keep losing my crap. Another Dale Earnhardt. This is 97 dual, 125 wing car. I do have another one from Sports Image. And Dale's 1979 Ventura. It's a sportsman car, later turned to the Busch Series in '82. Earnhardt was the first winner of the Busch race at Daytona. It was dominated by Cup drivers until '95 when Chad Little won it. Bear with me. Then we have Richard Childress' car. Most of these cars I got from eBay, but I believe this car came from Partners Collectibles, which I will give you the address and the Facebook page. And you got Neil Barnett's Warner Hagen car. I don't know, it was 82, 83. Over here is the Dale Earnhardt Coca-Cola car from Japan. That's Winter Circle version. Over here is the Action version. Down here is Kurt Busch from 3 years ago, when it was under Chip Ganassi Racing. Then Dale's Bash Pro Shops car. Hang on a second. Okay. Over here is the Busch car of Dale's at Daytona. And it doesn't have the Neil Bonnett name on it, the pillar there. But that's the car he won his last Busch car national race in. And over here you got Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Dirty Mo Posse car, Chance 2, 2003. Yes, pretty car. Down, I believe, if I'm correctly, it's from I want to say Talladega, but that could be the Earnhardt concert from Talladega. Yes, that must be the July Daytona race. And there's the Earnhardt concert. Over here is the Dale Earnhardt Sr. first car, the Highgate Chevy Malibu. Well, I wish I was around to see that in a lifetime. I'm pretty sure our parents were driven one of those. Over here is Dale Earnhardt's rookie car. Now, I have not a question, but like a theory here. How many of you think that this car and the Wrangler car over here, and which is later I'll show you another one, you think that was a hint? But that's Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s rookie car, and over here is his car, Rod Ostland's championship car from Ontario Motor Speedway in 1980. Over here, way down here, is Dale's Winter Circle car. I have no idea where that was from. Looks like the Brickyard. Yes, the Brickyard car. He won his first and only Brickyard. I call that a trifecta, if you ask me. Over here is the Busch car of Dale Earnhardt, number 8, in 1988, actually, at Daytona. A year later, he wrecked the car, which I have the small version of that. Not the wrecked car, but the car he drove. And another Racing Champions car for Earnhardt. Yeah, there's different versions of this package of car. The one I showed you in the beginning was the very first. This is the second year, third year they changed packaging of the car, but they have other cars too. So I was trying to fix Dale Jr. There's his Skidding's blue car from Rockingham. I believe that's Rockingham car. He drove it. Let me know in the comments. Over here is Dale Sr.'s car, 1989 Dover, and it's Chevy Lumina. These cars are worth a lot of money. If you have them, keep them in the packages. 1985 Wrangler. But I like the 1984 version of it, which I showed you in the beginning, which most of you missed it. I'll show those cars again. And then over here you got Harvick, Hershey Kisses. Oh, he's right there. I like that version better. Like I said, most of these cars have come from eBay, thrift stores, but mostly, well, majority of them has come from foreigners. I know he's watching. I'll give the details of his store later. Oh, actually, I'll do it now. It's go to facebook.com, type in Foreigners Collectibles, which he'll have cars you can pre-order, the cars he has out. His store is in Fayetteville. I don't know offhand. Should have written down on me. Over here, got the Mark Martin. This is Gen Racing car. We all know what happened to that team. So strong in the beginning, but began to fade. And up here is the COT version of the U.S. Army of Gen Racing. That could either be Gen Racing or Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Down here is Ricky Rudd's first year driving for Richard Childress Racing. Interesting fact, in 1982, when they went to Roadside the first time, Piedmont wasn't on the car. They didn't have sponsorship on that car. Over here is Austin Dillon's Gallup car from 2014, I believe. 14. Up here is the Dale Jr.'s Menards car. That's a Chance 2 car. Then you got the 50th Anniversary Racing Champions of Darrell Waltrip in the Tin Flux Special. Get a closer look for you folks to see. Then it's the throwback of the Wrangler with Austin Dillon, 2017 at Darlington. I would like to get Joey Gase's Alka-Seltzer car. And up here is the Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s very first Busch car. Then it's Steve Park's first Cup car, the Burger King. This is DEI's car. Here's another one. The very first DEI Chevrolet, driven by Jeff Green at Pocono. Racing for Kids magazine. Sometimes I really think it was an R&D car to Richard Childress Racing. And somewhat could have been just with the DEI name. Dale Jr.'s first year in the NASCAR Busch Series, AC Delco. Then Jamie McMurray, Haviland 42 for Chip Ganassi Racing. I like Jamie. He's a pretty cool kid. And over here is another Larson Credit One Bank Chip Earnhardt Ganassi. Oh, actually, it's probably just Chip Ganassi Racing then. Then it's the 2008, DEI U.S. Army Mark Martin car. And over here is Napa Chevrolet of Michael Waltrip from 2001. No, actually 2. Sorry, my mistake. And a Dale Senior plaque and his autograph card, which you'll see a lot more of them later on. Over here is a rare Darrell Waltrip's number 17 Todd Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. And his venture at DEI, substituting for Steve Park. Then it's Dale Earnhardt Sr. I believe that is 1996. The way the packaging is, yeah. Yep. Then Park's return in Indianapolis with the reversed entry. It's such a good run, and I think he got caught up in action. I think he cut a tire. I'm not sure. And over here is Martin Truex Jr., who is my girlfriend's favorite driver. Down here is the Winston Select Chevrolet silver car, Dale Earnhardt Sr. at 95, the Winston, and a Neil Bonnet autograph card, which my aunt found and I guess in a box, a big box at her house, mailed them back to me. I totally forgot. Then you got the 10 Richmond car. I don't understand why it doesn't say Folgers. Then we have Dale Jr.'s Oreo car and another Chance 2 Oreo 81 from 2005. More Neil Bonnet cards. Kevin Harvick AOL car. 2001, and his Stuart Haas car from last year. That's NASCAR Athletics. Then you got the race hood version and his Busch Series Championship car. So happy to have that. Worth some money. Sorry for the lights if it's blurry. Bear with me. Then there's Austin Dillon's Bass Pro Shops from this year. This is his new gen car. Small little sucker. I'm sorry you can't really see it. Then you got Larson's from last year. More of his cars around. You have Park. Pit Pass preview, sorry. And an autographed Neil Bonnet car. Came from my aunt's house. And his car here, this car here I got from eBay. Then the transporter, I'll turn it sideways, rotating device, good. I don't know if you still can see it. Now this is the big cars of Dale Sr. This came from eBay. Dusty, but still safe. Tasmanian Devil 2000. Parks Busch car. Neil Bonnet's Mom and Pops. Steve Parks. Yeah. Has Steve Parks' name on it. This is the Cheese Nip car. And over here is his Maxwell House car. Then his Pennzoil car, Tweety Bird. Car he did not get to drive because he was injured at Darlington. Thanks a lot, Larry Foyt. Loser. Down here, it's the big version of the Smith & Wesson car. Yeah. That is a pretty sweet ride. And over here, we got the Monster Energy car of Kurt Busch. These two cars came from Partners. I know you're smiling, Eric. Yeah. Just want to say when we go around, you'll probably see some dark spots. And I'm going to have I'll just have to maybe do it from this side. We'll see what happens. Over here, I got the Days of Thunder cars. Russ Wheeler, Cole Trickle. My favorite Days of Thunder car. Back here, it's Austin Dillon's cars and Ty Dillon. Up here is Earnhardt, Tim Richmond, Ron Hornaday, Dale Sr.'s Japan car, Ricky Rudd's Levi Garrett, and that is a custom car. Very custom. In the background, you got David Bonnett's Transporter. Ironically, it's the same color as the 3. Up here is Neil Bonnett's Country Time car. Here's number 12. This is Wood Brothers. This is part of the package you saw with the autograph. This is just the opening one. Don't know what year that is. I think it's 91 and 92. Seniors. And his, I think this is a 1994 Chevrolet. Then we have here the Neil Bonnet Transporter. This is a custom car. Then you have the 2 of these. I swear I think they're early Bush cars of Dale Seniors. And you got Neil's big car. In the back, that's Neil Bonnett's car. I'll move Junior here out of the way. And I believe this one is, these cars fell. There's the Junior Johnson car, another Warner Hagen. Just bear with me, folks. This one is autographed. So I have a lot of good cars here, autographed. Wish I got to meet Neil myself, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. And you have the Budweiser Junior Johnson. And another Budweiser Junior Johnson. I like the red one better. Then you got the Warner Hagen car. 1982. I believe one of these is the 84 and 85 version. And a Dale Senior. And a Junior. You got more Earnhardt here. Back there is Jimmy Means, Steve Park, and Ron Hornaday. Another Ron Hornaday. It's Kerry Earnhardt. The DEI car. Timmy Hill and Juan Montoya. Steve Park. Another Seniors Coca-Cola car. Jimmy Horton. Paul Menard's number 11 and Junior Bristol Swift car. These came from Farner's Fleet Market 2 years ago. Yeah. Could have gotten the Budweiser, but didn't want it. It's the Papa John's. Dale Jr.'s Coca-Cola car. There's another Neil Bonnet. Here's the car I'm talking about. This is the car that Earnhardt drove in Daytona because his car flipped during practice. Borrowed a car from Buddy Baker. Then it's Kurt Busch's car. Martin Truex Jr. And another Jimmy Means. I don't know why this car is, doesn't have Alka-Seltzer. It's non-alcoholic. Then you got Dale Sr. And another Dale Sr. One of them has the DEI thing on it. I'm not sure which one it is. It has DEI. Yeah, DEI. Up here, you got the Dale Jr.'s cars. Can't make them out. The Oreo car from Daytona, parked. Taco Bell car from Talladega in 04. Dale Jr.'s Budweiser. Ron Holiday. The Richard Childress DEI Combo #3 Oreo car. Then the smaller version of Mark Martin, the DEI Army, U.S. Army. Then there's the AC Delco car. And the junior car. There's another version. Up here, it's Rudd's #5. He was one of my favorites when I first started watching NASCAR, him and Earnhardt. That's the car. Looks intimidating, doesn't it? Peter Max. I think it's called a Fastback Monte Carlo. I think this is a Fastback. And there's the new version, Racing Champions. Take a walk with me. Don't mind the Power Rangers. Up here, you got Joe Nemechek's rookie start in Cup. Got the Texas Pete and the Dent team. Got Elton Sawyer and his wife Patty Reese. I'm at Elton in '95 at what is Aiken's dealership. That is now where Bonanza is. Yeah, they tore the dealership down and built a restaurant, which was what, Ryan's, and then became Bonanza. Then you got the very first super truck of Jeff Bodine and Sammy Swindell. I didn't really care for the Bodines. Didn't really like them. Then you got Bill Venturini's Amico. That is his Winston Cup car. I have two of his ARCA cars. Two Busch North cars of Ken Bouchard. The Auto Palace, I think it was ADP Brakes car. Here I guess where it's interesting. This is Racing Champions made different versions of these cars. This is the red and white Bill Elliott, that's rare. There's the one with the blue. Then you got his blue Coors Light versions. That is rare because it's blue, more white and blue than red in his normal colors. Over here is his action car with Coors Light. That came from eBay. Like it. Love it. Then you have Bill's Budweiser, which I'm still trying to find with the Budweiser. I have more Elliott cars to show. Here's Chase Elliott, who my girlfriend likes as well. Chase Elliott is my pick to win the championship this year since Larson's out. Down here is another version. This is the Larry Pearson. If you know, the background is the Buick, but they made a Chevy version. Got the Chinaga. I even cannot pronounce it anymore. Then you got the white bumper, which is rare, and that is a Buick. And then you got the original Buick. And here's the white bumper, another one. This one is the old one. This is what I got at Farner's Collectibles during his flea market a couple weeks ago. I was excited to have that because I do look for rare cars. Hard to find, basically. Then you got the Buick silver tires, well, rims. And you got the Pontiac version. There's more Larry Pearson cars. It says new Pontiac. And then here is the Buick. I think it's kind of hard to tell. Nope, that's a Chevy. Yay. Sorry. Can't get any closer without knocking things over. Yep, it's a Chevy. And another Chase Elliott cars. The first car and his Tax Slayer car. Down here you got the Larry Pearson's Stanley Tools Monte Carlo and his 96 version. Here's Stanley Smith's Admiration Battery Chevrolet from '92. Interesting fact, Admiration Batteries is part of Interstate. That's his pit road edition. Here's Racing Champions. I wish they made an Interstate Batteries one. And you got Alan Quickie. And the Victory Lap version of Alan's car. Here's Jerry Nadeau. That is a Greg Pollock's car. According to Racing Reference, that is a Greg Pollock's car and a teammate to Chad Little. I think it was either Mike Joy or Ken Squire called Jerry Nadeau. It's Nadeau. There's this Elliott Marino's First Plus car. My brother liked that car because it was Dan Marino. Johnny Rumley's Big Dog Cole Chevy. Down here is local favorite, local hero, I guess you call it, Tom Peck. There's his autograph card. That is a Chevy, which I left the sticker on. Then there's the new version of the Oldsmobile. Sorry. I believe that's an Oldsmobile too. Yep. Nope, that's a Chevy. And there's the Oldsmobile. And you got the Jimmy Means autograph card. I met Jimmy Means a couple times at Dave Marcus Day in the 90s, which some people remember. There's his Alka-Seltzer cars. And his Taco Bell. That's top of 9. Here's his Taco Bell from Bristol in '92, August. Top of 9, that is a Chevy. And there's the Buick. More big cars. Martin Truex Jr. And you got here J.J. Yeley, Timmy Hill. That is the custom car here. I think that has Yaley's name on it too. What came in a Ryan Newman case. You got the Noah Gragson. These two came from Farners, and same with J.J. Yaley's. There's the Winn-Dixie Martin Bush car. And there's Valvoline. And there's the Folgers. More Truex big cars. You got the KFC, Wrangler, Long John Silver's, Bass Pro Shops, Ritz, another Bass Pro Shops, Enterprise with his autograph on it, Freightliner, Sea-Watch. Down here you got Jason Keller. That is a Chance 2 car. Then you got John Andretti from Daytona, Charlotte, Coke 600, the Pepsi 400, and then you got Hank Parker Jr. Over here is Dale Jr.'s John's Mansville Menards cars, and there's the Oriole Ritz. There's the Menards, the test car. Here's Steve Park's autographed Burger King car, plus Dale Jr.'s Oreo car. This Taco Bell car from Talladega. The KFC car from Daytona. Here's this Daytona 500 car, born on date. And the Bristol, got this big version of the car. And here you got the Chance 2 Transporter. And then Dale Jr.'s first car, the Skiddons car. No Wafers, first Chance 2 car, Richmond, 2002, and the E-Concert. Here you have, it's supposed to say Greg Sachs, but it says Jay Fogelman. It's one of the era cars. So there's Terry Labonte Kellogg's Billy Hagan, the Sunoco Billy Hagan. One of these is a Buick. And then you got the Richard Jackson Skull Classic, another first year truck, Bush Gilliland, then Mike Skinner, TJ Clark's 2 versions, Rick Corelli, High Plains Drifter, which Eric probably knows that one, Rob McCaskman, Darrell Waltrip. Up next row here is my Moroso Racing cars. You got Aaron LaJoy. That is his Winston Cup car. They drove Ford and Cup, but in Busch Series they drove Chevy. Joe Rutman from '93. He finished 5th at Talladega in May. Best ever finish for Moroso Racing. Then you got Mike Wallace in an Orkin car. That, it looks like a Pontiac, but in the yearbook and the race itself has Oldsmobile. Same thing with the First Aid. I used to drink that when I was a kid. There's his car from Racing Champions. And you got Rob Moroso. 3 versions. David Green in his Busch Clash car. This Winston Cup car from '97 and '98. Ironically, he was fired that year in '98. Team shut down in the year. California with the Bill Davis Racing. Here's Jay Fogelman. That is car owned by Sam Hard. There's the two Chevys and a Buick. Up here's Lake Speed. Then Scott Legacy. Rick Hendrick and Jeff Gordon. And there's PJ Jones. Mike Bliss in the 08 and 06. I don't understand why I changed numbers. The late J.D. McDuffie. Ricky Rudd. Ed Perry from Strasburg. In Huntington. There's Phil Parsons and his autograph car, Diamond Ridge, and his ARCA car when you do it for Melling in Atlanta before getting fired a year after 2 races in '92. I won't trust a Parsons in my car, not him. Over here you got Steve Seligman. Harry Gant's car is a different version. There's a lot of Oldsmobile. I think there's a Buick up here and a Pontiac. I wish I had more light over here. And his Busch cars, Ed Whitaker. Bobby Hillins Team Ireland transporter. Ironically, that's a former RCR transporter. They got it back after he left. Here's a custom Kodiak Pontiac of Rusty Wallace. And the Miller Gin and Draft silver decals. Then the unsponsored version. There's one with just with the Miller. There's the Oldsmobile and the old Pontiac of Rusty's. Can't really tell because it's black. Then that's for Raymond Butyl. Here's Roger Penske. Another local state, Andy Belmont. Met him at Dave Barker State that year in '92. Got to change a tire. Wish I could hold it, but that was young. It's too heavy for me. Bobby Hillins Team Ireland car. I don't know why they made a Havilland version of his car. And there's Davies. That's from '93. The very first racing champions for Davey Allison, which you'll see more Davey Allison here in a little while. And his brother Clifford. And there's Kenny Herman Wallace. That is a different story with the Dirt Devil. That is the Team Safco car. He was supposed to go to Winston Cup in '92, but the team had financial problems. Dirt Devil withdrew. Team closed down. The owner was a fraud. He scammed money. Felix Abatis and Kyle Petty bought the team, but they also got a car back from Dale Earnhardt. I think if you watch, no, if you'll have Winston Cup scenes from '92, read that I think Earnhardt bought some of the equipment from Rusty Wallace. There's the pole position person. Mike Wallace. This is a Barry Owens car. That's the Cup car. Here's the Busch car. And another two. Then there's Jeff Burton, '94 Rookie of the Year, and Lloyd Allen. Ironically, that car looks the same as Ron Miller's. Then you have Sammy Swindell from '93. Interesting fact, that car is owned by Michael Annette's father. Jeff McClure's Florida State University Seminole car. ARCA. Then you got Hut Strickland and McDonald's. Then Robert Presley Alliance Training Centers. This car was owned by Daniel Welsh and Brad Daltrey, the NBA player that JTG Dollar that Ricky Stenhouse drives for now. Bill Sidrick in the Spears truck. This is my favorite truck of all time. Favorite team. I don't know why. And you got Dan Press. No, sorry, that's Bobby Gill. My mistake, but Dan Press did eventually drive that truck that year. Then Harvick drove it. Here's Larry Pierce. That's Hut Strickland's Busch car. Matt Martin. His Buick from '91 with Bobby Allison Rebestis. And there's his autograph one. That's the newer version of the Buick. Down here, and you've got Bobby Hillin. This car was owned by Charles Hardy. Yes, the same one from Elliott Hardy team in number 94 McDonald's. Michael Waltrip, old Pontiac, Country Time. Then Jimmy Spencer from Brunswick, Pennsylvania, the Monty Black Gold in Food City, 92 and 91. Over here is AJ Foyt That is a that's an Oldsmobile. No, yes, no, that's a Pontiac. Sorry, I just put that up last night. Oldsmobile. I don't think there's any Buicks in here. You got Jason Keller's budget gourmet car. He got that sponsorship when Andy Hillenberg's team stopped running. There's the Slim Jim. Another AJ Foyt. There's a couple versions of I Don't Have Yet they made. I believe that's a Buick. Oldsmobiles. Days of Thunder Exxon Transporter. Derek Cope. And his Busch car. Ron Zook. Winner at New Hampshire. This team used to be owned by Davey Allison. Russ Wheeler. Browdy Burns. Colt Trickle. Excuse me, guys. Ironically, I had these cars as a kid, all scuffed up, repainted, but never had the Exxon car. Here's another version of Exxon, which you saw. Here's Chad Little, and then they switched to black paint. More Days of Thunder, another Rowdy Burns. Kenji Namota, this truck ran at Phoenix. I forget who owned it. And Rob, this is Steve McHern. Number 54. Here, on this dresser is Kevin Harvick's Winston West Championship car. And you can see a picture from my dad and his first wife wedding day. Here's a small version of Harvick's car. This car came from Fardner's. Eric has one. And there's his E.T. Busch car from Bristol in 2002. Got a scuffle with Greg Biffle. Awesome. Same Winston Cup car. The Stuart Haas. I believe that's a Ford. Yeah, Ford Mustang. And there's the AOL version. Some football helmets. Harvick Budweiser car. And there's his Stuart Haas cars, and then Clint Boyer. Harvick's fast brake car. His rookie car. Pretty sweet. Over here, I'm gonna try my best. It's a car I got from Eric. It's the Ty Dillon's championship car. See his autograph. Thank you again, Eric. Thank you. But just wish you could get me find the Miami Hurricane car. I'd like to have two of those. Yes, in the background is me and Tom Welling and John Schneider. PJ Jones. Jerry Glanville. That car is owned by Ronald Cooper. The truck is owned by Ron Bessel, one of the creators of the Trucks series. Over there is Rodney Combs and Butch Miller. Rich Bickle. Jim Sawyer, which I met at Dave Marcus today. At the time, he drove for Dave Marcus. He was in the 41. We got Chuck and Jim Bound. We got Jack Sprague, Hendrick Truck, Tony Stewart, Gibbs. Kevin Harvick Motorsports. Chance 2. Rick Eckert, that's an ARCA car, I believe. And Sheridan Busch car, AC Ducko. And Tony Stewart's cars. His plaque. Rick Mass. And Greg Trammell over there. And so is Dorsey Schrader. Alright, walk with me. Down Over here, I know I should come over here first. Got Phil Barkdahl and Alonso Jr. Racing Champions made a bunch of these cars for Alan Kulwicki. And you got Paul Menard's throwback, Jimmy Hensley, Matchbox, Bobsled, Haynes, Family Channel, Tommy Kendall's Family Channel, and then you got Alan Kulwicki's Hooters. There's Bert and Quincy. And the next row you got the Sonny King car. I think Tommy Gale, I think is the name on it. And the 62 car, which is a promo. NASCAR threw that sponsorship out. And you got Bill at McDonald's. And here's two transporters from 1990 and 91. And you got another Budweiser car. The car on the bottom is Casey Elliott. That's his nephew. That's how Chase got his name. Casey passed away in 96 of cancer. He could have had a good, promising career. Then you got the Coors Light. That is not a custom car. That is a rare car. And you got the Matchbox Budweiser. And you got Ricky Rudd, Buddy Baker, Dave Marcus, Ricky Rudd, Mickey Gibbs. That's the only car they ever made. Rudd's number 10. His own car. And there's Greg Sachs, Alan Kulwicki, and another Rudd car. Greg Sachs owned the car, but I think the car was prepared by Diamond Ridge, which you can see. The bottom is another rare car, a Billy with Coors Light, and his two original cars from 91, and there's the Melling car from 1990. And this is from the 89 version of the Racing Champions first car. I'm happy to have it. And you got the Chase Elliott cars. Once again, cars came from partners. More Chase Elliott cars here. You got Alan Kulwicki's transporter in there as well. Chase's big car. Car is from Atlanta. Then there's the bobsled car, another one. Alan's transporter. And AJ Allmendinger. I think he's going to be a good cup driver next year. Back here, it's kind of hard to tell. We got Kenny Bernstein, Landon Castle, and Natalie Decker. Jimmy Johnson, David Pearson, Brooke Bodines. The Quaker State here is a Chevy. Jim Bounds, Cook 96 car, 96 season. And you got Jeff Bodine and his number 11. And a generic car, looks like an ARCA car. Two Jim Sodders. Just another different version of the Pontiac. And then Larry Pearson's. And you got the two Buicks. Over here is the Labonte collection. This is actually Hendrick Labonte collection. Ricky Hendrick. Tara Labonte. More Tara Labontes. And you got the Mel Yellow 51 Colt Trickle. Those cars are prepared by Hendrick. Tara Labonte's Sunoco Chevy. Matchbox did not make an Oldsmobile. So, if they made a Matchbox Harry Gant car, it'll be a Chevy or a Pontiac. Terry Bonnie's Billy Hagan car. His first Hendrick car. There's Jeff Gordon's rookie car. Another Terry Bonnie. A custom made Ken Schrader and a generic one. And there's Jimmy Johnson. In the back, we have Terry Labonte's Kellogg's card, and you have another one underneath. Then you got Terry Labonte on top. On the bottom car is Bobby Labonte's car. He was an Oldsmobile driver. That's why I said they never made an Oldsmobile. And then you got the Oldsmobile on top in the Chevy, his Grand National Champion car. But ironically, Bobby switched to Chevy in '92. Down here is the Petty collection. We got Kyle Petty's 1989 Pete. That's an old Pontiac. And there's his 1990 version. And there's the Mellow Yellow car. Ironically, they made a Bobby Hillin car. And here's the Kyle car. Now it makes me want to watch the rest of Kyle got hurt, or at least watch the '91 season. Then you got Rodney Combs. These are for Richard Petty in the Busch Series. The other three cars are that Bubba Wallace. I don't know why I still have them. Should get rid of them. The Transporter for Mellow Yellow. Then you got the Matchbox version of the Mellow Yellow. You got Petty cars, Richard Petty's car. Here's another version of Kyle, but the decals are off on this one. Then you have Richard Petty and Kyle. That car there is a model from 1989, and there's his Transporter. Over here is Richard and Kyle again, and Rick Wilson. Over here is just a variety. Back there in the two yellow cars are actually Bill Vitruvi's ARCA cars. And Buddy Baker. And there's the other Greg Sachs Diamond Ridge car. I don't know why it's down here. Guess there's no room. See Diamond Ridge. Then you got Kyle Busch's cars. I put a little putty patroller on it. Make him have bad luck. But it worked. A generic car and a wrecked Greg Trammell car. And here's his two good cars and John Tanner. And Nextel Cup car. Casey Kane. Then Jeff Green. There's Goldar. The Pit Road Pace car. Phil Parsons. Tony Stewart. Santa and Ed Barrier. Sorry, TJ Hooker in the way. Start up here. It's Haley Deegan. I got that autographed. Carlisle last year. My girlfriend and I went up. She was a very nice person. Haley, good luck this weekend. You're gonna need it. I still think it's still too early. Here you got the Earnhardt Funko Pop, which my girlfriend got for my birthday this year. Thank you, sweetie. This is Josh Bilicki's car from last year. I got this at Farners. Actually, yeah, 2 years ago. Sorry, 2020. I don't know why I didn't take the car out yet, but I will eventually. Then you got the David Green. First time he was selected in the Busch Clash. Here's the interesting story. That car was prepared by Ken Schrader Racing, so basically probably his Busch Grand National crew worked on the car. He said it was horrible. I think that was his team with Kirk Shelvendine helping. There's the Slim Jim. And there's the smaller version. Sterling Marlin's Principal Financial Group. This is a Jing car. Principal actually moved over to DEI with Reagan Smith in 2008. Yep. Then Tony Stewart's KHI Busch car. DEI. Chance 2, Chance 2, Rayner and Walsh, which fielded the 20 Hardee's car the following year. The smaller version of Three Doors Down. Did a video with Dale Jr., which was pretty good. Joe Gibbs Racing Shell car. That's those cars. Over here, a little more light. Yeah, got Power Rangers and Turtles. Up here is Ward Burton's Hardee's. There's Andy Hillenberg's Budget Gourmet car. That sponsor went over to Jason Keller. Mark Stahl, which ironically he is a friend of mine on Facebook, I believe. Ken Schrader's another generic car. Another generic. These are all extra cars here. Then you got Kenny Bernstein here. His Buicks. And there is a Chevy version of his car. Nope, that's a Buick. Sorry. They only made a Chevy version of Brett Bodine. And there's his brother Jeff's Budweiser car. Funny thing is, when I was younger, my brother would never let me race the Brett Bodine in my little car series. Or even when me, him, and two neighborhood kids will race on the dinner table. This is Justin Haley's front end cars. I think Eric can probably put some more information down on this, but this came from Racing Warehouse. You know, Justin Haley. I like it. It's the first ever I owned. Down here you got Patty Louise Transporter, which her and her husband Elton owned. I think Michael Waltrip may have bought the team, but then closed it up and sold it. Hi, Raph. Chad Chapin, 31W Insulation, Wayne Day car. Wayne Day Enterprise car. There's more of the Turtles. Elton Sawyer's car. That's the only Day Enterprise car they ever made. The only car. Day Enterprise employs several drivers: Chad Chapin, Bobby Hamilton, Jeff Green, David Green, Mark Day, Larry Gunzelman, Justin Ashburn. Pretty much nobody's. How I look at it. Sorry, I'm just clearing some of my stuff off. Over here, up here, sorry, Eric. It's Chad Little's. He drove the car in summer of rest of '92, basically, and some of '93 for Mellon Racing. I'm surprised they even made a car with his name on it. There was an action version of that. No, Matchbox. Jeff Purvis Bush car. And there is another Haley Deegan car. Got autographed. From Carlisle. Ricky Craven's Busch Grand National North car. That is very rare. Then they got some license plates, and there's Harvick, Steve Parks autographed. And here's another card of his autograph. Davey Allison and Neil Bonnet. It's not racing, but I got Frank Poncherello. Down here, you got Kyle's autograph, Mellow Yellow. That version came out, first version. There's the 94 version. And another Kyle. His Mellow Yellow. His old Pontiac, 1989. Here's Peak with no Sapco. And Richard Petty. Over here is my Larson collection. Majority of, if not all, these cars have come from foreigners. That one, the Clover, was a gift from my girlfriend for my birthday last year, I think it was. Yeah. And there's Larson's autograph, McDonald's, his 2 cars. There's the new version. Thank you to Eric for holding on to me, allowing me to pre-order. I'm gonna one day hopefully get this bad boy autographed. There's a Funko Pop from my girlfriend and Larson car from partners. I have Sheldon Creed up here because I don't know where else to put him. He's a good driver. He's got a lot to learn. I think next year he'll be a threat in that 2 car if he stays. There's Larson's car from last year. This is supposed to go with the junior, but it's full. Alright. Born on Date cars, which probably Eric remembers. That's the year that my mom passed. She was a huge Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan. Rooted for him when he was in the Busch Series. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the race on TV, but I listened to the race on radio. Was cheering, rooting on him. Tony Stewart was behind him, another driver she liked. I nearly cried. Then there's Larson's transporters from Chip Ganassi to Hendrick. And a Cincinnati car. Yeah. We got some baseball stuff up here too. Javi Lopez and Chipper Jones and Rocky Upper Call. Down here you got Davey Allison, who was the first driver I ever met in my life. I met his dad Bobby in 2001, I think it was. Spring of that year. So I remember getting a bunch of autographs of people at my table in school. Unappreciative punks. His Lancaster car. First Winston Cup car. Then there's the car from 1990. Mexico Havoline. There's Bobby Hill's Ireland car again. There's his autograph. Came from my aunt. Clifford Allison's Mac Tools car. That came from eBay, but I try to offer Eric Farner for it, but he said it's not for sale. So I got one like yours. Davey Allison's 1990 car and his Busch car underneath, the Mac Tools. That is his Busch Grand National transporter that they made. His car from 87. Then there's the Racing Champions version of it. Then his 1990 There's a lot of different versions of Davies Racing Champions cars early on. This is like 90. Since 93, 92, 93, it's a 94 model. And there's Davies cars. I forget what that car is from. It's a Matchbox, but there's a special to it. There's an Earnhardt car like that too. Down here, there you see the small version of Davies Bush Transporter. I got that at a flea market, a thrift store. Joey's his name. Gave me a good deal on it. I bought some stuff from him from that store as well, and some of the stuff at Farner's Flea Market. And then you got the Convoy of Davey Allison's, the test car and the race car. Over here is the Hut Strickland. That is a Buick. Nope, sorry, my mistake. Kicked my ass. That's a Chevy. And the Transporter was a car. And then the 1/24 scale car of Davies. Down here, is Derek Cope's main and tail straight arrow. And there's that version of Hut. Let me put up the glasses. That's the Revell car and the two Matchbox and the Racing Champions. And here's a 1989 version of Davies' car. Ironically, my cousin who passed away this year, I don't know if you saw his picture, but him and I were younger. We collected them. He never really played with his, but I did. He collected a lot. He told me that I'm going to get his collection, which when that comes, whenever I get it back over to the mountain, I will, when I get it, I'll make sure I'll do a video of that as well. And there's the Matchbox Davey Allison. There gotta be some Davey Allison fans out there still. And there's Hut Strickland. That is a Chevy Racing Champions. And the miniature version of the Buick Transporter. There's Hut's number 27 McDonald's. Bobby Allison's Miller High Life Buicks. Bobby was a really nice guy to talk to when I met him. I met him at Chambersburg Mall. At the time, my mother was alive. Of course, 3 years later she passed, but go back to 3 years from 2004. She told me Bobby Allison was going to be at the mall. Her being pressed, I got right up to Bobby firsthand before everyone else did. My mom fortunately got to meet Kyle when he drove the Coors Light cart in New Franklin through the fire department, and Jim and Kathy Bowen, who owned J&K Toys. They sold NASCAR stuff too. Kathy works at Occupation Services. She's a job coach there with people with disabilities who's trying to earn a paycheck. Her husband worked at some kind of, forget where, but he passed away. He had cancer, but they were pretty nice, decent people. So moving on, I actually kind of really missed their store, but they had another lady that worked in there. I can't remember her name, right off my mind, but anyway, she later came to work at OSI. She was there when I was working there. I was the client. She was just a job coach. Down here is Jamie Murray's McDonald's car. This car from Spire. I don't know if you can see it on there. And then you got the McMurray cars here. There's some Dukes of Hazzard collection here and some Dodge Monacos, which are part of the Dukes of Hazzard, I call it. Then the Dick McCabe car, and there's Andy Belmont. This is actually autographed. I bought this at Farner's in 2018. And there's Chad Little's Bear Select car. Jim Sauter, when he drove for Steve Dixon, that's the only Steve Dixon car they made. Dick McCabe again. That's the Bush North car. Buckshot Jones, Alka-Seltzer car. You can't really tell about the Bush car or a Cup car. Then Brendan Gaughan, Winston West Championship car. I would like to meet Brendan and get his autograph on the car. And then you have Jeff Bodine, Joe Nemechek, and generic McDonald's car. Over here is some petty cars. Got Britt Wilson, Rodney Combs, Richard Petty. Then it's Dick Trickle when he drove for Cali Arboro, full year of 1990, the first 5 races of 91. He was released. Lake Speed took over from Darlington all the way through Martinsville. And Chuck Bound ran into the Joy. Deutsch Trader ran into the Joy. Then they settled on Chad Little. There's the Cali Arboro ones. Yeah. Yes, I met Tom Welling. That's my mother. Here's an autographed version of Morgan Shepherd. My ex-best friend would be so freaking jealous of me having that car autographed. Over here, I got some cards here autographed by H.B. Bailey, Kenny Wallace, Tony Urey Sr., Neil Bonnet, Davey Allison, Jimmy Means, Tony Glover, Ricky Rudd, Chandler Smith, who's moving to Junior Motorsports, Bobby Hillen, Dave Marcus, Richard Childress, James Hilton, another Marcus, Tara Labonte, my favorite, Tommy Kendall, Phil Barkdahl, Buddy Baker, Brad Tigg, which my ex-best friend would crap his pants, Mickey Gibbs, his 2 cards, Paul Menard, and there's the card I got autographed by Bobby. Here is Kirk Shelmanine's car, and that's his autographed. It's kind of like the same version of Dale Earnhardt I showed you, but it has Kirk Shelmanine. That's his autographed. Yeah, I got some Christine cars. Last day of October, I'm actually going to talk to John Carpenter. So check out my Facebook and YouTube later for the video. Probably about a few hours, if not the next day of November, you'll get to see the video of me and John Carpenter talking. I'm going to ask him about, thank him for the Halloween movies, and ask him about if he's doing a remake of Christine. Down here you got the military cars, Gibbs, Marcus, Baker, Quickie, and Sachs. Quickie, Hall of Famer. Buddy Baker, Hall of Famer. Dave Marcus should be a Hall of Famer. And you got Joe Bessie's car. And here's another Hall of Famer, David Pearson. This is his own car, I believe, or Haas Ellington, 1985. What I heard or read, they had a disagreement. So David took the number and the sponsor, Field of Fords. The 21 became the one which Davey Allison drove. In his date, 5 races or 3, something like that during the year. This is the custom car of a Heinz 57, no driver. If you watch this later, and you can think that's your car. That's cool. Then you got Mike Wallace, Spam, Joe Falk Racing, Ironically, that used to be Talbot Pro Tech Motorsports team from the Busch Series. Joe Falk was part owner, but he bought Jeff Neal. I take that back. Ron Neal's portion of the team. That's the second Kenny Wallace racing. Well, second Rusty Wallace racing Busch car. That Mike Wallace drove in Martinsville. Then you got Kenny Wallace's rookie car in the Cup for Felix Sabates, Sapco. Sapco Busch car, dirt double, but Racing Reference still has Rusty Wallace as the owner. And this is the Rusty Wallace owned car, the Cox treated lumber. That's the action version, and this is the Racing Champions version. I think this is action. Hold on. Nope. Revell. That's the very first version of I ever had when I was a kid. One of those carrying case came in with. Then they made another version of the Pontiac. Then you got Rusty's 94 Ford Thunderbird, his Racing Champion Pontiac, and his Mashbot Pontiac. And there's the Miller Jet and Draft one. Here's Jeff Gordon's Baby Ruth cars. And his very first car. That car was done by Hugh Connery. And that car actually was prepared by Phil Barkdahl, Lanny Petrie, and Ray Abraham. Mostly Ray Abraham and Phil Barkdahl. Another Baby Ruth car. You got Tommy Houston and Casey Atwood. And the two Rick Corelli trucks, Remax and Total Petroleum. And the Buddy Baker card. That's the cars that the Legends drove in the 91 race at Charlotte. The race is on YouTube. There's Jeff Gordon's Baby Ruth car again, and Ernie Irvin's Busch car. I was going to wait, but I have another Ernie Irvin car coming, number 41, Matt Toole's car. So that'll be in a separate video. Then we got Ross Chastain. Another Eric car of Bobby Allison with Steve Grissom's Big Mama, and same with Kyle. Joe Bessie's Delco Remy. Ironically, funny, interesting story about this one. I don't know if anyone remembers the active trucking team, the 32 that Jimmy Horton drove. They were replaced by Dick Trickle. Then Mike Chase was supposed to, but failed at Daytona. He was fired at the first round of qualifying at Rockingham. Jimmy Hensley, Greg Sachs, and Chuck Bound drove the car before closing the doors. Ironically, they filled the truck in 97, a couple races, I think in one race in 98, and officially closed. Here's another Joe Bessie car. And his Busch North car, Palace. AC Delco. Ricky Craven. Jeff Spraker. Actually, this is a Busch North car. See, Matchbox Chevy. And Kibbles and Bits. I think that's Richardson. Yeah, Richard Robert Richardson. Sorry. Down here, got Joe Bessie's car, number 97. This is 1993. You got Ricky Craven's 93. Bill Pike, J&J Racing, and his own team. It's on top of Talbot's. Well, actually, there's Dale Jarrett's Joe Gibbs Racing Transporter. Top of that is the Talbot ISM Tabasco. Team was a disaster. Rick Craven's Rookie Cup car. And his two Busch cars. Got some Dale Jarrett's here. Phil Barkdahl. That is his pole position car, and the Dale Jarrett Citgo Petroleum car. Another Craven. Another JD. There's the JD Duffy car. And the scratch out version. And there's two unscratched. Scratch. Harry Gant, Ed Whitaker, Manheim Auctions, 94 Bush car. And there's the 1/18th. I believe that is the Harry Gant. Then you got the custom cars. Actually, I want to do this. Put this here. Then you got, that is David Ruderman's. Nope. Bill Elliott Burger King car, and then JD McDuffie's all blue. Yep. Here is my Waltrip collection of Michael and Daryl. We got the Maxwell House Country Charm from 1990. Then the Pennzoil, from 91 to 95 he drove. And a newer model, Pontiac. Darrell Waltrip's Western Auto. And there's a Speed Block car and another Western Auto and a Tim Flock special car. Down here we got Lake Speed, Buddy Arrington, Morgan Shepherd, Chuck Bound, Jay Fogelman. See some Morgan Shepherd's car if you can see. There's also a generic car, Tracy Leslie, Detroit Gasket, and Phil Parsons. Over here you got two Tom Bodine cars, three Derek Culp, and Robert Presley, another Joe Bessie. He should be up here then, or at least over there on the other side. And Harmy Sadler, Sterling Marlin, his Morgan McClure team, and his Stavella brothers, Jack Ingram, Junior Johnson, Billy Hagan. And there's Ernie Irvin with Morgan McClure. The Mac Tools, it's Ernie Irvin owned car. And Ernie Irvin's first Winston Cup car, Mark Reno. And the generic car, I believe. Man, yeah. It's a Bullfrog car. Another Jerry Glanville. Ted Musgrave from Roush, DK Urich, a crushed Bobby Hamilton, that's a Buick, then the two Oldsmobiles and the Pontiac, and a Race Champions car, Jeff Burton, Stavella Brothers, Phil Marr, yep. This is the Paul. Nope, this is. Sorry, the girl. Nope, I don't even know what that car is. I'm going to head back over the other side because I totally forgot there's more on the bottom. We got ARCA Champions Frank Kimmel, and Ward Burton on top of Christine, along with Wendell Scott and another Ward Burton car. Then you got Hut Strickland, his two Stavella Brothers car from 97-98. Rodney Combs, Kerry Earnhardt, Butch Miller, Charles Henderson's team, which is still active today in the Truck Series. Mike Bliss, there's Jimmy Hensley, Buddy Baker, and here's driver car, non-association, Chad Little. Lake Speed, Kelly Arbo, Ed Perry, Bobby Doddard, Elton Sawyer, and the two Tyson cars of Chad Little, his dad's own team, and Kenny Irwin. Marcus Ambrose is just hanging out. Here's non-association Melvin car. Then you got Matt Kenseth, Brett Bodine, two Jimmy Spencers in the back, an unknown car, a generic car, a big Snickers car, and two Snickers unmarked cars, I believe, unless this one say Dick's Trickle. Bingo. Dick Trickle. You got Mark Martins. Ran out of the room. Bobby Daughter's here. Bobby Daughter should be up here. Mark Martin. There's Kenny Wallace with Jay Robinson Racing and Danica Patrick. Her last Cup start at Daytona. Kurt Busch. A Sheldon Creed car. This car is last year. This car came from Partners Collectibles. Steve Grissom's Channellock from Pennsylvania. Then you got the Rodberries, Grissom and James Hilton. Chad Little. Over here, you got Spire cars of Corey LaJoie and Ross Chastain, I believe. Yep, Ross Chastain. Corey LaJoie in his big car. Partners Collectibles. Corey LaJoie. Justin Haley. And Ross Chastain's trucks, which both of them are autographed, and there's another Xerox car, which I thought I had one, but now I have two. Either one came, I think both of them came from Partners at one point. I know one came a couple weeks ago. Next up is Dave Marcus, who's got the Big Apple Market, STG, Whaler Chevrolet, and there's a Big Apple Market. There's a lot of Big Apple Market cars there. And then you got the Food Line and the Lancaster car there. Olive Garden, autographed by Dave. The 1994 version of Dave Marcus with Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet on it. And another Olive Garden car. His Transporter, big one, and a little one. Over here is the STG car. This one here is an ARC car signed by Dale Fishline. So I got a Dale Fishline car. A promotion car. Just two Champion generic cars. And two Tom Pecks. That's the new version of Oldsmobile. And there's the first version. Joe Logano. Busch East car. I think it says... Yeah, I think it's still under Busch. And Tom Peck. I'm telling you, Tom Peck got screwed by Diamond Ridge and Grissom. Two Paul Menard cars, the Cup and the Busch Series. Then there's the car he ran at Talladega, Dale. Jeff Green's Winston Cup car, DEI's debut. Up here, got some more AJ Foyt cars, and you got a set of cars here, like Leonardo's blocking, he's protecting. There's Tom Bodine, I believe that's a Chevy. And you got Marlin, Trammell, Brett's Chevy, Petty, Marcus, Means, Peck, Jeff Bodine, Dale Jarrett, Derek Copeland, Bill Elliott. Rick Mass. There is Pontiac version of AJ Foyt. This one's a Buick. Mike McLaughlin, Jeff Purvis. That's the Phoenix Racing first Winston Cup car. Then a Callis Cornflakes car. Scott don't know what car that came from. Then you have Joe Ruttman, 124 General Bell car. Got that at a thrift store. This car came from eBay because I rolled over, went out of bed, and forgot the car was underneath. What happened? Car's broken. There's Kelly Arborough. I had this car as a kid, and I would watch the North Wilkesboro race. I would put my chin on the back of the car, thinking it's an in-car camera coming off the roof. Yeah, I did that. I used to make the engines too when I was younger. Martin Truex, Eddie Burchwell, his only car. Dale Jarrett, identical to Neil's. Morgan Shepherd, Bobby Hamilton, that is an Oldsmobile. John Andretti's Billy Hagan car, his rookie cup car. Another Bobby Hamilton. There's name on that one, so you can say whoever. There's Sterling Marlin and his cars with Billy Hagan. That's an Eric car, has Terry Labonte's name on it. And you got Mike Chase, James Hilton. Surprised they did not make a Chevy version, because he drove a Chevy in the Cup Series in '92. Didn't make any races, but drove a Chevy. There's Jeff Gordon, his Winter Circle car. The last three, Stan Fox. And the Decor Motorsports Made for You products. Casey Atwood, who was a flop. He came to the Cup too early. And Chad Little's Sterling Cowboy car. In 1996, the hood opens up. They have the... Sorry, there's more. There's one more driver I forgot to look at. For that car team, they also made a John Deere number 23. Yeah. Then you got Rick Mass, Buddy Baker, Bobby Daughter, Bobby Hillen. Over here is interesting. This is the Moroso stable of Rob Moroso. This car came from Partners, I believe. If not, Eric, sorry. There's the small, I believe the small version came from his store. There's the Swisher Sweets number 20. Ran Atlanta and Winston Cup in '89. There's Busch Grand National car for a whole year. There's the Randall LaJoie car. That's a different version of Racing Champions. They do that. And there's Rob Moroso's 2 cars. And there's 2 cars from '88 season. Yeah. Then his transporter there. Here, down here, you got Joe Ruttman, Rob Moroso. I'm looking for the 25 car that's open. Then there's that one. And Mike Wallace in the first aid car. So that's pretty much it of cars I have. So if you have any questions later on, just send them to me. There's Dale Jarrett's big Busch car. Mac Tools, yeah. I don't think they ever made a Hudson Technologies car from Homestead. His last Busch win. But keep my eyes open. If you have any questions, just send them in the comments. I'll get it answered. Do say for future viewers, most of these cars, sorry, gotta fix the Moroso cars here in a minute. That happens all the time. Not all the time. Good part of the time. Let's take Ricky Craven up. Just look at the cars I'm seriously thinking about moving Joe Bessie somewhere else. Didn't mean to bump into it. So yes, it's my collection. See pictures of me and Walter Jones, Jason Frank, Austin St. John, David Yost. Here's my autograph with Haley. So if I get more, I'll make sure I'll post a video of it. So questions, concerns, comments, just send me a video, in comments. Look at that sexy beast. So hope you enjoy it, and we'll do this again later.